Hi everyone. Have you ever had a hard time taming your own tongue, right? Like you just have a hard time responding respectfully or carefully or thinking before you talk? Today I want to dive into that because we've all done it many, many times. And so let's chat about that today. For those of you that are new here, my name is Sally Harris, and I'm so glad you're here. And I just wanted to welcome you and let you know that this channel exists because I am a firm believer that every mom deserves a support system during this difficult time you're walking through. And this channel exists because my daughter and we walked through a very difficult season for over a decade. And while her life was, out of control, mine did the same. And I want to help you not do that. So let's dive into this topic because, taming the tongue is hard sometimes, right? And the tongue is the most dangerous part of our body. Think about that. And it doesn't even have a bone. It can kill. It brings life and it can kill. It is the power of life and death, right? Our words, even more than our actions, I feel our words are so powerful, and we can use them to build someone up or we can use them to tear someone down. And when it comes to our own child, even when they're being super disrespectful and they're in the middle of their crisis and maybe they're being disrespectful, and it's really easy to respond negatively. So we tend to, as moms, do more responding out of anger or frustration. And sometimes we're not thinking before we talk, but yet we expect and are wanting our kids to do that. We're wanting them to have that maturity level to be able to have a conversation with us. But if we are responding in a poor way, then how do we expect them to do that, right? How do we expect them to be better than us? We do have to set the example at that point. Like, we've been trying to set the example their whole life. We do the best we can. Well, when it comes to these really hard times, you can think what you want, but what you say is what matters. Right? When it comes to someone else, your adult child, or anyone for that matter, right? The power of life and death. And, a saying I used to say to my kids when they would tattle on one another, I would say, are you telling me that to help her or to hurt her? And more times than not, they would just look at me like, of course I'm trying to hurt her, right? Because that's what siblings do. And as adults, we need to think about that. We're all guilty of that sometimes. So I know it's hard when you're being disrespected, and this boils down to some of the communication techniques and different things that I teach my moms, because it's so important that we look beyond all of that, and we'll look beyond to a point, look beyond what they're doing, and how are we going to respond, right? So that's really important, and so I just want to share that today. If you're interested in learning more about communication techniques with your adult children, and maybe you're a mom who is looking for another group of moms to surround yourself with who can understand and get you without judgment. So if you're interested, I do have a membership, a brand new membership. This July it started, and it is called Grit and Grace. And we have a small group of moms that I'm starting with. And if you're interested in that, you can connect through a discovery call. Everything starts through my discovery call. I want to make sure it's a good fit for the group. I want to make sure it's a good fit for you. Some people need one-on-one coaching more than the group, and vice versa. But at the end of the day, it's your decision how you want to move forward. So I hope to talk to you soon. Have a good night.